Welcome to our video on the determinants of a normal cardiac cycle. Today, we'll delve into the key factors that influence how our heart pumps blood, focusing on heart rate, stroke volume, preload, contractility, and afterload. Understanding these components is essential for interpreting cardiac output values, which measure the efficiency of our heart's performance. First, we will look at what the cardiac cycle is all about. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to Out channel as this will help us prepare more quality videos. Okay, let us dive in. The cardiac cycle refers to the rhythmic pattern of contraction and relaxation of the heart during one complete heartbeat. Contraction of the heart muscle is known as systole, where the heart pumps blood out to the body. Relaxation is called diastole, where the heart refills with blood. Cardiac output is the amount of blood the heart pumps in 1 minute, and it is influenced by the heart rate and the stroke volume. It is also often defined as the volume of blood ejected from the left ventricle every minute. This is often calculated using the formula CO equals stroke volume, SV times heart rate, HR. The normal range for cardiac output is between 4 to 8 liters per minute. This measurement indicates how effectively the heart is delivering blood to the body. Since the cardiac output is a product of the heart rate and the stroke volume, let us now look at each of these parameters. First, we will look at the heart rate. The heart rate is perhaps the simplest determinant of cardiac output to visualize. The faster the heart beats, the more blood can be pumped over a particular period. However, just like a cyclist who pedals too fast might tire quickly, an excessively high or low heart rate can impair cardiac output. If the heart beats too slowly, as seen in severe bradyarrhythmias, or too quickly, as in acute tachycardias, the heart can't pump efficiently, leading to decreased cardiac output and potentially even cardiogenic shock. Let us now look at the second parameter, the stroke volume. The stroke volume is often defined as the amount of blood ejected by the ventricles in a single beat, influenced by preload, contractility, and afterload. Normal stroke volume values range from 60 to 100 milliliters. These factors can be adjusted in clinical settings, particularly in the ICU, to optimize cardiac function and ensure adequate blood flow throughout the body. Now, the question will be, how does each of these factors influence the stroke volume and subsequently the cardiac output? We will now explore each of these factors, but first, the preload. When we talk about the preload, we refer to the degree of myocardial distension prior to contraction, influenced by the volume of blood filling the ventricles. It's similar to a cyclist benefiting from a tailwind, which helps them move faster without additional effort. According to the Frank-Starling law, the greater the stretch of the heart muscle fibers, the stronger the contraction. However, there's a limit. Beyond a certain point, increasing preload won't increase cardiac output. Now, the Frank-Starling law itself states that the strength of the myocardial contraction is proportional to the initial length of cardiac muscle fibers. This means that greater end-diastolic volume, EDV, leads to a higher stroke volume and thus increased cardiac output. This mechanism helps maintain balance between the outputs of the right and left ventricles. However, overloading the heart with excessive fluids can reduce cardiac output and cause harm, just as inadequate fluid resuscitation can. Different physiological conditions such as exercise, inotropic support, or heart failure can shift the Frank-Starling curve, affecting how preload influences cardiac output. Okay, let us also look at the afterload. The afterload is the pressure against which the left ventricle must eject blood. It depends on arterial blood pressure and vascular tone. Imagine cycling on a smooth, wide road compared to a narrow, bumpy one. Reducing afterload, like smoothing out the road, can help the heart pump more efficiently, especially when contractility is impaired. Afterload is essentially the resistance the heart must overcome to circulate blood effectively. This now brings us to the third factor which affects the stroke volume, and hence the cardiac output, that is, contractility. Contractility refers to the muscle power of the heart's contraction. Imagine a cyclist who pushes harder on the pedals to go faster. Similarly, increased contractility boosts cardiac output. However, too much effort can lead to fatigue, just as excessive use of inotropic drugs can increase the risk of mortality. Conversely, impaired contractility or too little pedal power reduces cardiac output. In summary, understanding the determinants of the cardiac cycle, heart rate, stroke volume, preload, contractility, and afterload helps in assessing and optimizing cardiac output. These factors are crucial for maintaining effective circulation and overall cardiovascular health. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more insightful videos.